Welcome back to our cooking program called Give Them Something Better, where we learn how to cook healthy and delicious alternatives for our families. This is our sixth episode, and if you have been attending before, thank you for patronizing our program. And if you haven't missed a single episode, then you deserve an award or perhaps a prize. However, if this is your first time to join us, then where have you been all these months? Anyway, jokes aside, I hope you find this program to be bringing healthful living through your kitchen. All our past programs are available and you may view them anytime at fairhavens.ca/health. Today, our presenter is someone familiar to all of us as she had been our guest speaker in our online worship last year. She is currently employed at the SDACC as an Administrative Office Secretary for Native Ministries. You may recall that she, along with her husband, were also our guest speakers during the Marriage Refresh right before the pandemic started. A loving mother of 3 daughters and a golden doodle called Comet, a person who loves to eat, which by the way is balanced with her active lifestyle, and her affection for cooking is how I would describe our presenter. Today, she will be presenting 2 dishes, namely vegetarian Tikka Masala and vegan Bulgogi, which I'm sure you can't wait to try it out for yourself. Before you start to salivate to the scrumptiousness of these dishes, let us first welcome Chris Guarin-Adap as she presents the vegetarian Tikka Masala, after which we will have our Q&A. Then after the Q&A, she will be presenting vegan Bulgogi, and then we will have another Q&A. By the way, they have a YouTube channel, and be sure you check it out by searching Guarin-Adap on YouTube. Without further ado, let us give the time to Chris.
Thank you, Kuya, and thank you, Fair Havens family, for having me. Thank you to Ate Telma for the opportunity to share my love for food. Kuya is right. I love food. I love everything about food. I love to go grocery shopping. It's my therapy. My retail therapy is grocery shopping. I love cooking, I love baking, and most of all, I love eating. But because we want to try and have healthier choices in the family, I have tried to do vegetarian and vegan dishes as much as possible ever since, I would say, 2013. So I am excited to share with you these 2 dishes that are easy and that my family loves. So I have very basic rules that I do when I make a recipe. One, it has to be easy and simple because I don't like it when something is too complicated. I'm not going to try it. When I look at other recipes and I see that the list is too long or the steps are too much, I don't like it. So it has to be easy and simple. 2, it has to use whole portions. When somebody tells me use half a can of something, I don't like that because then what am I going to do with the other half of the can? I don't know. So when they say use half a can of tomato sauce, well, I don't want to do that because now I have to double the recipe to use the whole can. So I like to use whole portions of whatever the ingredient is. And 3, it has to be yummy so that my kids will eat it. I used to have picky eaters. They're not anymore, but they used to be picky in eating. So I had to cater to their tastes. So today, we're going to try 2 of our favorite dishes. This is what we ate last week as a family. So Kuya, we can start with the vegetarian Tikka Masala.
All right, thank you very much. Now we come to our Q&A. You may unmute yourself if you have a question or anything you would like to ask about the recipe. Uh, Chris is right there.
I
Anyone?
have a question.
Yes, yes, Belle.
Why do we need to use silken tofu? Is it just for different texture?
Yes, that's exactly it. You don't have to, whatever, just two blocks of, those plastic trays and two of that, of whatever tofu you want. Um, I also wanted to point out how I don't like using not whole ingredients. So in this one, we do have 1 tablespoon of tikka masala paste. I should have put that that's optional. You don't have to buy a whole jar if you're just going to experiment. So the sauce is good enough on its own.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The cilantro, is that the same as onsoy?
I believe so, right, Mama?
Yes, that is it.
Yes. If you're not too fond of cilantro, then skip it. Edsel actually learned to eat this one. It used to be just me eating it, but he actually ate it last week when I made it, and he said it was good. So maybe he's already learned to like cilantro because I like it.
I
Could
was
you
won-
use parsley? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was wondering if we can have like a substitute for it. Can parsley be a substitute for it?
I think that was what you were also going to ask, right, Clang? So I haven't tried it, but they say that parsley is, it's not as strong as cilantro.
The taste is different.
It is. It will be different, and tikka masala is. Well, there's some debate if it originated in India or if it originated from the South Asians, so Indians that were living in the UK. But anyway, it's supposed to be a South Asian dish, and parsley really isn't a native. I'm not sure they use it a lot, so cilantro is, But feel free to experiment and let me know if parsley works.
Cilantro and coriander is the same.
Coriander is the seed, right, Mama? And then cilantro is the leaf part
Yes.
of the plant. Yes. I think Ate Belen?
Why you did not use the coconut cream instead of that cream?
Whipping cream.
The whipped
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. But I think when I was making this recipe, so Edsel's not too fond of coconut flavors. But yes, the coconut milk, you could experiment with that. The one in the can, right, Ate? Now there's two coconut things in a can. There's coconut milk and coconut cream. So I guess depending on your taste, you could try with either or with this one. Also, I believe one can. How many ml is in a coconut can? I cannot remember now. I didn't want to take away too much of the taste of the tikka masala in the jar, so I think that's also why I went with the whipping cream. But yeah, I think it was mainly because Edsel doesn't like coconut taste, or he'd rather not. So I already have cilantro, then I'll put coconut milk. He's not gonna eat it.
I haven't tasted masala before. Does it taste like what is it, panang or the curry, or does it taste totally different from all of them?
It is, Kuya. It's like a creamy curry taste. I would say it's pretty similar to the Thai panang. Yeah. And I I like my dishes a little, I don't know, maybe it's the Filipino thing in me. Like there's a little bit of sweetness. That's why there's 2 tablespoons of brown sugar here. But if you're not fond of sweet, then go with, you can eliminate it altogether or just add 1 tablespoon. Yes.
Is it spicy?
No, Mama, because uh, the jar, I forgot how many little peppers it has, if it was just one or two in the jar. But no, it's not. You can make it spicier by putting in chilies or by putting in more of the tikka masala paste. But this version is not, because my kids have to eat it and they don't like spicy.
Who among you here has already tasted masala before? Let's see the hands. Only two? Okay.
We will try.
I thought I was the only one who hasn't tasted yet.
Yeah, so maybe you can try it, or if not, the next time we visit Fair Havens, then I can bring this dish for the rest of the church to try. I also wanted to start with this dish because it shows you the basic framework of at least what I do with any saucy dish. So this is exactly what I do if I have to cook kare-kare, caldereta, mechado, or anything that's saucy. This is exactly what I do. I'll fry the tofu or whatever, I'll set it aside, and then I'll get the sauce perfect in the pot, and then I'll add everything else. So it's a basic structure for any saucy dish that I do. The panang, kuya, the panang that you ate, this is also what I did. But I didn't put the fish there so that the breaded fillet fish doesn't get soggy. But yeah, same concept.
Oh, so you did that panang, the one that you sent to us, was it yesterday or? Yeah, it was yesterday, right?
Yeah. So my basic thing is basically so obviously it's better to try and use fresh whole ingredients, right? But as a working mom, I need something fast sometimes, right? So using a jar is not like, it's not the end of the world. So in a pinch, I will use a jar, or if I'm not even familiar, right? Like with panang, you have to have like Thai basil, which is not readily available everywhere. So I will buy the jar, and I know the taste because I've tasted it. Like, it's my favorite at our Thai. So I know the taste. I'll buy the jar. I'll put the jar in, and then I'll start experimenting by adding ingredients so that I can match the taste that's in my head.
You know, I'm sure a lot of you here watching right now have been to our Thai when it used to be still in business, right? So I'm pretty sure you guys know what our Thai or what panang tastes like, right? So it's probably something, Chris, for the future. Maybe you'll do another cooking demo for us. Maybe panang would be one of the things there. What do you think, guys?
I think panang will be the best next time. I haven't tried that one.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I bought a jar, and then it wasn't the taste in my head. So I added coconut to that one, kuya, and then I added whatever to. I'm trying to find it in my head. That's my thing. I'm trying to find a taste that's in my head, and if it's not yummy, I'll start over again.
All right, cool. So, do we have any more questions before we move on to the next presentation? Any questions? All right. So, if not, then I don't know. Maybe Chris, would you like to introduce the next dish, or should I just go ahead with the video?
So with this first dish, we used a can, but now for the vegan bulgogi, we'll go from scratch. So a little bit more complicated, but not too much. You can still wing it as a working mom. Go ahead, Kuya.
All right. Great. Excellent.
Excellent. Sarap.
I like how to make that sauce again. I like to watch that again because I buy bulgogi in a jar
Oh,
Wow.
yes. Yes, Auntie.
from the
You
Korea.
can buy that bulgogi.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
a little salty and so sweet.
Yeah, I like this one. I don't know how I found it. So that's another thing that I do with recipes. I just this is one of the first recipes I
Mute yata. Yan.
as a wanting to do more vegetarian vegan because I used to love beef bulgogi. So I imitate that.
Yeah, beef Korean bulgogi.
Yeah, it's good, right, Auntie? So when I try to look for a recipe, I actually don't look for the vegetarian version because I want my version to be as close to, I guess, to the original. So I'll look for a beef bulgogi recipe and then I'll try to look at what their sauce was and imitate the sauce and then put in and then substitute out the meat. So I found this one with it was unique. So I wanted to try it and it actually tasted really good.
Kain na tayo. Nice.
So, yeah, I have a question. Is it okay to substitute the one that you buy from with in a bottle with the one that you just made, or it will taste different, weird?
I'm sure it will taste similar. Again, the thing with bottles and with jars, like the Tikka Masala, is that I'm sure all of us, when we say something, you have uh, something in your head about how it's supposed to taste like, right? So if you use something in a jar or a bottle, chances are you will have to tweak it to your liking. Chances are it's not the same as what's in your head. Kind of like adobo, right? When you buy the Mamacita adobo pack, which I'm sure none of us do because everybody knows how to make adobo from scratch. But if you were to make adobo from that Mamacita packet, um, you will, how do you say it in English? Yung hinahabol yung lasa. You still have to tweak it to your liking. So yes, you can substitute, but just you're going to have to add stuff
Yeah,
to
and I guess if you're also trying to avoid the preservatives, because when it comes in a jar, definitely it would come with the preservatives, and if you're trying to eat healthy, maybe creating from scratch is the way to go. So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's very easy. I don't like things that are complicated. So at least with this one, I just throw everything in the blender. And then bloop, bloop, bloop. And then the recipe uses everything that was in the blender. Because like I said, like if it only used half, what are you going to do with the other half? So, yeah.
So that one goes well with roti or naan.
No, the previous one, Auntie, the tikka masala is good with roti. For this one, the bulgogi, at least I serve it with rice, or accidentally, I didn't have rice and I was so hungry. So I tried to eat it with lettuce, like lettuce wraps, and it actually worked. So that's how I actually eat it, is as lettuce wraps. Skip the carbs. But the rest of the family eat it with rice.
It looks so delicious. I'm gonna try that one day.
Yes, Auntie. And try it with a variety of mushrooms. You can substitute the mushrooms. The mushrooms give it the meaty texture, right? Because in our heads, what we're trying to, I guess, substitute is beef. And tofu is too soft to substitute for beef. So the mushrooms is what gives it the meaty texture.
I think the portobello or creamy mushroom goes well with that dish, with that cooking.
Sure, yeah, you could try. I haven't tried it. You can let me know.
All right, nice.
Anyone else would like to ask something about our recipe today?
How much would it cost us to make that bulgogi?
Oh,
A lot,
okay.
right?
So that's the only, I don't price my recipes, but they're very basic ingredients. Like there's an apple, there's an onion. Uh, and so the sauce is homemade. So that's not too much. And then what? You had the carrot. Okay, so the most expensive thing there would be the mushrooms,
Mhm.
right? So the two portobello mushrooms, I think that's what is like is that like $4 or $5 for a pack of two. And then the shiitake mushroom. So that's the most expensive thing. And then your carrots. So I would say like what? Like $12? I don't
Yeah.
know, like an under. Yeah, yes, ate.
I will try that one. It's delicious. It looks so yummy.
Yeah, hopefully you like it. When you blender the sauce, something Nieva too, you if you want to try the sauce, when you blender the sauce, just keep blending it until your desired consistency. So some people will like it clumpy, so they'll just stop. And then, but if you want it more smooth, then you just keep blending it until you get the smoothness that you like. Yes, Belle?
What kind of apple? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. My favorite, whatever you have at home, what we usually have at home is GABA because it's Comet's favorite. But any apple, it just gives it that tartness because then the sweetness will come from the brown sugar. That's why I said 4 to 6 tablespoons. I use 6 because again,
Was it really apple or pineapple?
apple and tea. It's
Oh,
apple.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then your sweetness will come from the brown sugar. So that's why I do 4 to 6. So if your apple is like on the sour end, then you just, you adjust your.
Please, have you tried using pear? Because most of the recipes I see, pati yung jar na binibili ko, I see it's pear puree. So have you tried it?
No, I actually haven't. That's interesting. Yeah, okay. I'll try next time with this one. But that is interesting. Pear, I'm guessing any pear, it probably will actually give it a smoother texture because pear is generally softer than apple, right? So it actually might give it a smoother texture. That's interesting. Yeah.
Or I look for like the ano ba yun, yung Korean barbecue and bulgogi nga. And then I saw in the recipe pear. Tapos nung nakita ko sa jar, oh, pear puree pala talaga yung inaano. So it's new to me na, oh, apple. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Ooh, I have to try that pear. Yeah. Apple is my secret whatever, like secret ingredient. I add it to everything because I have kids here that don't like to eat apple. So to try and get apple into their system, I hide it in everything. I hide it in butternut squash soup. I hide it in all my sauces. There's always apple hiding somewhere.
It's not a secret now.
No, it's not. It's not really a secret. You don't like apple? Yeah, that's why mommy hides it.
No, I don't like it because it gets stuck in my teeth.
Oh, it gets stuck in your teeth. Okay.
And then it hurts.
And I don't know if you noticed in the previous video and this one, when I saute, I like to start with onions. I don't know, but some start with garlic. I like to start with onions because I find I like my onions a little bit more caramelized. And if I start with garlic, the garlic is already too brown before my onion is caramelized. So I always start with onion.
I see. I should try that too. I always start with garlic. It gets brown, sometimes black.
Right? And then I panic because it's like, oh no. And then, I think there's 1 or 2 times where I'll throw it. I'm like, it's just too, it got too burnt, I guess. And
When the garlic is burnt or brown, really brown, it's bitter. That's
Yes.
your taste. That's why you have to do the onion first.
Yes. Yes, Auntie, that's true.
The Filipino way kasi always starts with garlic, and we grew up that way. But then when I started watching in YouTube, na yung mga chef, they always say onion first. So I started that way, onion first.
Yes.
The onion kasi, if you are going to do it first and then caramelize it, it will give more flavor to your recipe. And then it will give another sweetness of your recipe. You don't have to add any other seasonings if you caramelize your onion. That's the trick of the chef. I don't know. But like I always see like that one.
Yun nga.
There's another difference also between the first recipe and the second recipe. So with the first recipe, the tofu, I didn't press it. I just sliced it and I fried it. And then with this recipe, I pressed the tofu and I marinated it and then I baked it. So generally when working with tofu, I find it depends on your sauce. So for example, the Tikka Masala sauce is already a strong enough sauce that it can deal with the blandness, I guess, of the tofu. So I don't need to press it. But when it's something lighter, like a lighter sauce, like bulgogi, that you want it to seep into the tofu, then that's when I press the tofu before marinating it. So don't marinate unpressed tofu. If you're going to marinate tofu, press it first. If you don't have a tofu press, then you can just put it in between like a towel and then put like a heavy book on top of it to press it. But if you use tofu a lot, you might want to invest in a tofu press. I think it's like $13 or something like that on Amazon. And it's great. And yes, so if your tofu is marinated, I like it better baked because the baking, the sauce, it crisps the sauce, so it adds to the flavor.
Where do you get your tofu? Kasi you're a tofu user.
Oh, okay. So I shop at Superstore because that's the closest one here at Tita. So my tofu is either the what is it, the Rooster brand or the is it Sunrise? I can't remember now. But whatever is at Superstore. If my mom and dad go to Galleria, that's actually my tofu, the one in Galleria.
Oh, still and young.
Yeah, the Korean tofu. I don't even know if it has an, but it's the same thing. It's in that plastic tub. That's my favorite tofu. But so it depends. Either firm or it depends what kind of texture, Tita, you like. Yeah. If you're going to marinate though, it works best with firm or medium firm. I don't think you can press soft tofu. Yeah. There's so many things that you can do with tofu. I was supposed to have a third dish today. For those that are familiar with Jamaican, it was supposed to be like a tour of the world kind of thing. So we would go to India, Korea, and then my last one was Jamaican. So for those that are familiar with Jamaican cuisine, one of their, I guess, favorite dish, like their adobo, would be ackee and saltfish. I don't know if you've heard about that, ackee and saltfish. So I made a vegan version, which is ackee and salt beans. That was supposed to be my third today, but I couldn't find the ackee. It was in stock at Superstore, at Walmart. So next time. But tofu is so versatile. You can put it anywhere, anything.
Thank you so much, and we really, really appreciate your presence. And we are looking forward to the next presentation that you will be doing. I hope we have Ate Telma. I hope you have invited her again for next time. Yes, you were muted. You're muted, but I think what you're saying is we do, right? Okay. So, to everyone, I hope you have enjoyed our presentation today, and I hope today's program has broadened your collection of recipes that you cycle through ever so often. Remember, whether therefore you eat or drink or whatsoever you do all to the glory of God. Join us again next month on the fourth Saturday at 3 p.m. here at Give Them Something Better, bringing healthy living through your kitchen. Thank you.